Hi guys, what's up? It's me, Samsel33 here, and I'm not here to do a LEGO review today, but here to do a mock of sorts. It's basically a Bionicle slash Hero Factory mock of a Halo Elite, and if you don't know what that is, that's basically the enemy that's one of the main troops of the antagonists of the game. Elites are those hunched over guys, that have the mouth. I don't know how to describe them, but they're elites, and they're the most iconic villains in the Halo series, and they're so much so that they're even playable in Halo Reach. And I'm not the biggest Halo fan, but I do play the game mostly because my brother plays it, and I just play it when he plays it. And I just thought, why not? Let's make a Halo Elite. I don't know what irked me to create one. I just felt like it. But yeah, he is a combination of both Bionicle parts and Hero Factory parts. Very odd combination of both of them. So I guess I should just show off the figure. I guess you'd call it a figure. Like I always do, start off at the legs. Of course, he has the old school Paraka feet at the bottom. Now I would have gone with the newer style two-clawed feet because they have two toes, but I feel like the blue matches better with the rest of the color because elites are bluish, at least in the footage that I found, or not the footage, but the pictures I was concepting the figure off of. Pretty standard pieces here. I did use a Hero Factory piece in the middle of here because I couldn't find one of these pieces that had these same joints, like one ball joint, one connector, two ball joint thing on two sides in a small piece like this. I couldn't think of one off the top of my head, so I just decided to use a Hero Factory piece. It looks a little odd, but it gets the job done. And this part right here is a kind of a weird way I designed this. As you can see, I have this kind of armor above this Borak eye because the elites have like this spike coming out of the knee in that fashion. Like I said, it's the knee. Since it has two joints in the leg, and then I just put this armor piece over it to kind of cover up that because it kind of has blue down here, and then it goes into the black later in the higher up in the leg, and then I just have this piece back here to add a little more bulk to the legs. Now the body, this is obviously, or not obviously, but it is definitely the hardest part of this mock to create. As you can see, I have some Borak body pieces as the chest armors because the blue armor pieces kind of came out farther. They were like kind of bulky up here in the chest, and I couldn't really find any other way to attach a bulky kind of piece that's blue in this style. Now, I do know that the Elite is normally a darker, more like realistic, I don't know if realistic is the right word, but like grittier blue, like the feet and the legs right here. But I couldn't find, I don't believe there exist Borak chest pieces in that darker blue color. If there are, then I will definitely update the mock with them. But yeah, it's kind of weird how I designed this. I guess I could take this off and show you. Obviously, the main core of this, how I attach those Borak things, is this piece right here. I just inserted it into the back two things, at the top there, and then I just put the armor pieces above that, and then to help them stay in place more, I added this one piece on the bottom, if I can get it in place again. Seems to have, there we go. So yeah, it's kind of interesting how I designed the body. It definitely was the most difficult part of this whole operation. But it definitely paid off, because I really like how it turned out. It really does stick out in the way I wanted it to. It just maybe a little different color. And for his head, I have I believe that's Barracks's helmet, and then a red Glatorian head under that, because they have red eyes from the picture I used to create this off of, and that's the best way to make red eyes. And of course, it has the trademark hunch of most of the Hero Factory characters right here. So the chest is mostly made of like Hero Factory body pieces and stuff, and then the legs are mostly Bionicle pieces, just because they're easier to find for that type of thing. The chest pieces, I have two. For the main chest piece, I have one of the longer body pieces, and then wider as well. As you can see, it has the 4 ball joints at the top. There are 5 if you count the neck piece, and it's also longer. And then I use one of these connector pieces in the back to connect a second body with the longer extended things to the ball joint. And I use that body piece to put these feet up here as adding more bulk to him, because his head is kind of lower than the, maybe not lower, but it's at about the same level as the top part of his body, and there wasn't really a piece I could think of that could make it more like that in the top, and it flexes around so we can position it just how I want it. I think it turned out pretty good. It does look a little weird stuck with that, but if you just look at it from like the front, it looks pretty good. And these pieces attached to the legs, these don't connect to anything, not like anything based off the Elite, they're just to add more bulk, because without them it just looks kind of open back there, as you can see. You know, this is mostly for display anyway. They're not going to be playing with this unless you really want to. See the body, it's definitely the most complex part of this whole design. And now to the arms, these are very Hero Factory oriented, except for the shoulders, because they have that point that comes out of them, and I use one of these Vizirac feet as that. I thought, when I saw that image, I was just like, Vizirac feet, that's gonna be perfect, but attaching it kind of didn't work out very well, just because I had to use one of these, and these kind of stick out, as you can see, and it just looks kind of ugly. But there really isn't any standard rod connector like that. They all have like something sticking out. I really hate that. There really needs to be some kind of just standard tiny little rod connector that can connect them. But anyway, yeah, the arm joints, oh, I forgot to mention, they're not just the standard 2 arm pieces. I also added this piece out there to extend the arms, because the arms are very far outward, I guess you could say. Like, yeah, they just extend outward very far from the body, because of his large hunch that he has, or that it's not a he. This isn't a specific Elite character I'm basing it off of. It's just standard Elite. And it's the more lighter blue on here, just because it was much easier to make. Yeah, I really couldn't find any black one of these pieces. It has the 2 pins right there. Take this off. It has the 2 pins. I could not find any of those in black. I could only find them in light gray, and I really didn't like that. It kind of sticks out, but I think I found like 1 in my collection. I really didn't feel like going online to buy an extra one just for this MOC. I'm probably going to take apart soon anyway. The arms are pretty basic. These have 1 pin in the middle, and then I have a 5 long piece right there, and a black hand. Now, of course, this side also has the added gun, and this gun is based off a Halo weapon that the Covenants use, which is the name of the league that the Elites are from. And this is a focus rifle from the series. It's basically like a giant laser beam, if you're not familiar with the series, which you should be if you're watching this. So we could take it off here. It's one very odd part of the body, part of the character that I added. It's mostly made out of Lego bricks, but it does have some Technic influences in it. As you can see, it has one of these Hero Factory gun pieces with the 2 long axle pin that attaches to one of these Technic, I believe they're called pole arms. And then as you can see, I had a bunch of these studs here to put these decorations on. I guess these are decorations, but these things on. And then I have one of these little cone pieces that attaches there, because that's the only piece that does that isn't kind of like large. And then here there's supposed to be this little hole, that's because in the focus rifle does have like a little hole there. I think that's supposed to be like where the thumb would go, but obviously I can't do that because I don't have. Well, I guess I could do that, flexible thumbs, but it really wasn't worth it. In the end, I think it turned out fine. Has a little scope there, as you can see, and how it looked in the game. Son of a... Alright, back. In the game, it kind of like the purplish kind of sandwiches the black part here, and I kind of wanted to go for that. Just having the black kind of in between the 2 purple parts, and then it being kind of blackish back here. So the focus rifle does look kind of ugly. Honestly, it looks pretty stupid, but I couldn't really think of any better Covenant weapons to make. I did make a DMR. I don't know what that stands for off the top of my head, but that of course is used by the Spartans rather than the elites and Covenant people. So that one I don't think fit very well. So a focus rifle was the best thing I could think of. See, that's the Halo Elite MOC. I think it turned out okay. If they were better colored pieces, I definitely would have used them. It would have made him a lot darker blue, as he is in the game, or as they are in the game. He isn't. Yeah, but yeah, that's probably one of the only things I disliked about it. Legs also look kind of weird down here. Probably should have added a little more bulk right there. But I think it turned out pretty well, and also these look stupid. But in terms of posability and such, I think he can pose pretty well. The legs being kind of restrictive in how you can flex them, other than like, you know, back and forth and such. It's kind of restrictive. You can get him into nice poses and like leaning in different directions, but you know, you can't make him do like crazy stuff. You can't make him do things that are too crazy. So yeah, thanks for watching this MOC. I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to do, like or how often I'm going to do them, but I'm going to try to make a few more MOCs based off of Hero Factory and Bionicle. Bionicle? Really, Sam? Bionicle? Bionicle. No, anyway, I will try to make more of these in the future, because I do like how this one turned out, and I love to make more. It was very complex and fun trying to create the things and how I wanted them to look. And the end result, I think, was definitely worth it. So thanks for watching. See you guys for more MOCs and reviews later.